I'm Dr. Jamshed Dalal from Kokila Vein Hospital in Mumbai. I'm going to talk to you today about the combination of telmisartan and sildenafil in the management of hypertension. We know that hypertension is a very big global problem with a very high morbidity and mortality. In spite of it being such a common problem, the awareness of hypertension, the treatment of hypertension, and most important, the actual control, that is achieving goal of blood pressure, is very poor, less than 20% throughout the world. We need to improve this. The best way to do this is to choose a combination of therapy rather than a single monotherapy, and to use it as a single pill. So if you use a single pill with 2 or 3 drugs, then the chances of the patient reaching the goal are much higher, adherence is much better, side effects are less, and rapid control of blood pressure is most effective. Now when you have high blood pressure and you don't control it, then you get different organ damage, and hypertension damage to various organs like the heart, brain and kidney will occur. And therefore it is mandatory to achieve blood pressure control to the expected goals, which is usually in almost all societies around 130 to 80. That's what we should aim for. We should start treating when the blood pressure is around 140 systolic and try and aim to bring it below 130. Now telmisartan is an extremely good ARB, and ARBs are very popular, they're very effective, there are few side effects, and they prevent both stroke and vascular disease. Along with that, the addition of calcium channel blocker is useful because calcium channel blocking drugs are very effective in control of blood pressure. The problem with calcium channel blocking drugs is that when you give higher doses, they tend to produce peripheral edema. Therefore, we have newer calcium channel blocking drugs like sildenafil, ephedrine, and many others. Now, sildenafil has been with us for a while. It definitely produces less edema as compared to amlodipine. It is as efficacious as amlodipine in controlling blood pressure. Sildenafil also blocks the N channels and therefore prevents the release of norepinephrine. The reduction of norepinephrine will produce less vasoconstriction, less renal damage, less vascular damage. So therefore the combination of telmisartan, a very good ARB, with sildenafil, a very good new calcium channel blocking drugs, will have significant benefit in reducing hypertensive associated morbidities and mortality. Now we also know that sildenafil is particularly beneficial in renal protection. It reduces proteinuria, it prevents damage to the podocytes, and improves overall renal function. We also know that RAS blockers like telmisartan will also produce beneficial effects on the kidney in the long term, though in the short term it may provide a small increase of potassium or a small rise in creatinine, but over a period of time it will produce renal benefits. So when you have a blood pressure patient, either young or old, a combination of telmisartan and sildenafil given together as a single pill, once a day of course, will be of significant benefit in one, control of the blood pressure to target levels of below 130. They'll be vascular protective because of the effect of sildenafil on nitric oxide release and reduction of sympathetic activity and renal benefits. And secondly, and more importantly, long-term organ protection is the most important goal of blood pressure control. When you control the blood pressure, the primary control of blood pressure itself is very important, but other factors like the effect on central aortic pressure, which both telmisartan and sildenafil have, the effect in terms of reduction of stroke, the prevention of vascular damage because of release of nitric oxide by sildenafil, and the prevention of kidney damage because of the N channel blockers. So in a person with hypertension, a good combination would be telmisartan and sildenafil. Of course, you can use another ARB or you can use another calcium channel blocker, but I think this combination is good. Edema production is less. We know that when you combine an ARB with the calcium channel blocker, the ARB produces venodilatation compared to the arterial dilatation of the calcium channel blocker. So this balances it out, and therefore the patient will get much less edema. So again, in any patient who has hypertension, I think it's important to talk to the patient, allow the patient to understand the mechanisms of drugs, the importance of controlling blood pressure, and to make sure that they adhere to the drugs. A single pill, multiple combination of an ARB and a calcium channel blocker, of which telmisartan and sildenafil is a good combination, would be a drug of choice for these patients. Thank you very much.